At Sierra, discover top workout gear at incredible prices, which might lead to another discovery. Your headphones haven't been connected this whole time. Awkward. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
Prime's exclusive wildcard playoff game is Saturday night. Jordan Love and the Packers take on Caleb Williams and the Bears. Not a Prime member? Sign up for a 30-day free trial to stream the game.
That's going to be caught for the touchdown.
NFC North rivals square off in the latest chapter of the NFL's oldest feud. The Packers and Bears in Prime's exclusive wildcard playoff game. Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Only on Prime. Sign up for a 30-day free trial today. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
Go Canes. And I'm definitely not talking about Carolina. This is the Hockey Show.
ما في وقت للعب 9-1 كونتينيو 20 استوديو نطلي ولا لازم نشوف.
David Droga, the Hockey News, is holding up the U. Ethan is in the other studio. Rose is
miserable.
Back for the rest of the season, hopefully, I think, possibly. Are you? Are you back?
Yes, because the season is done. And if you're asking about my sunglasses, I know it's not cool to have them on, but my eyes are puffy, and I don't want it to be on camera because it hurts.
I did not ask you about your glasses.
No, I'm telling the audience. Yes, hi.
They are asking about your glasses. My name is Roy Bellamy. This is the Hockey News. You can watch us on YouTube.
It's the Hockey Show.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Hockey News. That's where you work.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is the Hockey Show. The Hockey Show DLS is where you can find us on YouTube, on TikTok, the Hockey Show 7, on X, Instagram, and Threads at Hockey Show DLS. We had a lot of fun at Winter Classic. Unfortunately, Rose wasn't there to partake. Hopefully she will be for Stadium Series. We will talk about that in a moment. But the NHL has made an announcement where the next Winter Classic will be next season. It is going to be in Utah, as the Utah Mammoth will host the Winter Classic at Rice-Eccles Stadium, the home of the Utah Utes. And I got to see a picture of the stadium, mountain background, very scenic, good chance of snow. And if you've read any of the mentions that I got from the day of the Winter Classic, when I posted a picture, hey, this is what the ballpark looks like right now. This is probably a good spot to have because everybody wanted it to be in a winter wonderland instead of near a beach somewhere in Miami. But yes, the Mammoth will hold this game for the Winter Classic. Do you agree with the decision?
I had a joke there. This team is hosting and is not even old enough to rent a car.
Yeah, that is true. 3 years old. Even they came from Arizona, which came from Winnipeg. But yes, but officially they are their own franchise, the Utah Mammoth, and they are going off of the previous 2 seasons that they've been in existence. Do you agree with? Yes, Ethan.
I mean, you know, Rose mentioned that they're a brand new team. Seattle hosted the Winter Classic.
That is also true.
And they were their 3rd year of existence as well, I think. So
remember, I am 3 years old of knowing hockey.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I think it's cool that the NHL is trying to get these new teams and new franchises out into these premier games and these premier spots to promote them. It'll be really cool, first of all, to see what they do with the uniforms, just in the same way that the Panther uniforms were a really cool fallback kind of idea. Like, I think the Mammoth, they have great colors, great jerseys. I think they'll do a really nice job, and yeah, the setting's going to be beautiful. That stadium is absolutely gorgeous, so I'm really excited for it.
No, Utah was the last team, interestingly enough, that hasn't played an outdoor game. They're 3 years old, and every other team now, thanks to the Panthers doing their thing a few days ago, like a week ago, right? A week ago today.
Tampa played. Yeah,
Tampa did the Stadium Series against Nashville a couple of years ago. Columbus Stadium Series, I think, last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So yeah, it's just the Mammoth, and I don't know. I'm excited. I know that the Lake Tahoe experiment didn't go super duper awesomely well because of the sun and the glare and all that, but I remember like the lake setting behind it with people like pulling up on their boats. That was cool as shit. So I hope that they come up with something cool. I think what they did with the Winter Classic down here blew away my expectations, which were admittedly low for a Winter Classic in Miami, but they killed it. So I'm very curious and excited to see what they come up with in Tampa, and I think they're going to probably do a really awesome job in Utah.
The boys at What Chaos, specifically Pete Blackburn, mentioned the uniforms, as Ethan brought up. Now, they do have a sky blue tint to their uniform. That would be a great base color for their Winter Classic uniform. I think sky blue, black and white is their color.
Yeah, pretty simple winter colors. I don't know. I think they should lean into the mammoth. I think their jerseys should have some kind of like a
hairy
animal
look?
hair coming off. Yeah, for sure. Like a fur, like
a
some,
brown jersey.
Yes, absolutely. With
That might be
tusks
pretty cool,
maybe
actually.
hanging off the front of the helmet, little tusks up
tusks.
there.
You know what would
I
be
don't know,
cool is like a brown with like a light blue. And it's kind of like they're the mammoth, but you incorporate that light blue, kind of like a
mammoth
soccer
vest
color
over a
has that
hockey jersey.
claret and blue, yeah.
We're onto something.
Oh, man.
Keep them warm.
The Buffalo Sabres and the San Jose Sharks have been the biggest surprise so far this season, I think. Even the Blackhawks have been better than expected, and that's just the positives. We're not going to talk about the Jets here, which is the complete opposite of positive. So this gives us a chance to review our preseason predictions.
What was that?
I don't know. What was that? What are you doing?
Somebody allowed Rose to have the telestrator.
Rose
which
thinks
was
she's
a really
John
bad
Madden over
idea.
there.
I was showing you. Oh, are you looking for it?
Yeah, it was right here next to Dave. Now it's gone.
I'm so sorry. I hijacked it.
You jacked
I don't
the
know whose
telestrator.
idea
It was
this
right
was.
here a
I don't know
minute ago.
whose idea this was.
It certainly wasn't mine.
No, but keep talking about the Sabres. I'm gonna try to.
We're not
keep
talking about
we
the
get
same.
there.
We're talking about our tiers.
Before we get there,
Oh.
anytime you're watching a football game, right, on the telestrator, and somebody draws Rose, can you give me 2 circles?
Dude,
Anytime
please don't
somebody
make
draws
her
2
do
circles,
Okay,
don't you kinda
we're not going to do that.
Whoa.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to do
you
that.
sit up a little bit, you get a little excited in your chair. You're like, is he
We're
going to
not
do
gonna-
it?
We're not going to
Is
do
he
that.
going to do it?
We're not going to do that. So we
They
are
rarely
talking
ever
about
do
our
it.
tiers,
Nice
our
rack,
preseason tiers that we made prior to the season starting. As I said, the Sabres and Sharks and Blackhawks, positive surprise. So let's go over what we said earlier in this season. As you remember, the Florida Panthers, top tier.
Yes, they're in their own.
They are in their own tier.
And they will stay there until somebody knocks them off.
Correct, David. Correct.
Yeah,
That's the only take.
Yeah, and of course, in the bottom tier, the Roy's opinion of Sidney Crosby are the New York Islanders and the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Who are both in a playoff spot at this moment.
Both in the playoff spot. Yeah, in the middle. Now we can parse out where we were right and where we were wrong. Let's start with the second tier, the teams trying to be like the Florida Panthers. We had Minnesota, Carolina, Colorado, Dallas, New Jersey, Vegas, and Winnipeg. Winnipeg being the obvious wrong answer there.
Yeah, Jersey's a little ebbs and flows this year out of a playoff spot at the moment, but everybody else in that tier,
Well, who-
especially after Minnesota made
I
the
was going to
trade.
say, who
That's-
could have seen that coming?
Yeah.
You shut up.
No, seriously. I mean, I probably would have put them in the should-be playoff teams tier, but you guys had them right at the top of the trying to be like the Florida Panthers tier, and now they are trying to be like the Florida Panthers. They went out, made a huge swing, and got Quinn Hughes, and, I mean, they've been the best team in hockey since they did that.
Rose has wrote the word dying on the Florida Panther tier there, which is not true because
They're recuperating.
coming back.
They're healing.
They're losing everything.
Rose, it's the first half of the season. They're not losing everything.
Well, it's the second half of the
Let
season.
them get healthy.
It's the start of the second half of the
it's
season.
still tightly
That's a
packed
useless
enough.
correction there.
You know what? There's a theory that you guys have that one player doesn't make a team, and I believe a little bit of that, but the Florida Panthers, they need 2 of the players. If not, they're not good.
Rose, they're missing half the team, but that's neither here nor there. We got to continue with these
Hall
tiers
of Fame
here.
caliber people are out of their lineup.
Yeah,
Multiple.
yes. Barkey. That's why we need
Barkey.
Barkey.
Chucky.
And their best defenseman
Marshy is out.
this year.
Jones
Their
is
best
out.
defenseman.
Marshy's
Kulikov
out.
is
Jones is
out.
out. Oh, sorry, I did
You've
not.
been on vacation.
Way
yes.
more than one player.
All right, let's talk
Sorry.
about the third tier here. The should-be playoff teams. We had Calgary, Columbus, Edmonton, Los Angeles, Montreal, Ottawa, the Rangers, Toronto, Washington, and Tampa, with the clear wrong answer being Calgary and Ottawa.
Ottawa, I'm not done with Ottawa. Ottawa's not done either. They're 5 points out of a playoff spot, but
And Columbus, by the way.
Yeah, Columbus.
Columbus is on there as
Columbus
well,
is-
but yeah, if we can replace Columbus with Ottawa there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
they're right now they're the bottom 2 teams in the East.
Yes.
It's tightly packed. I'll give them, but yeah, we may have been a little overexcited there with some of these teams.
Teams with potential maybe, we had Boston, Buffalo, Utah, Detroit, Seattle, Philadelphia, San Jose, St. Louis, and Anaheim.
This might be our best tier, just because.
St. Louis.
Yeah, one miss really, but like, come on, Anaheim we saw coming.
Yeah.
The Sharks So somebody here saw coming.
Yeah.
Is Seattle so? Whoa, Seattle's in a playoff.
Seattle's in a
That caught me off
divisional.
guard, man, because the
Divisional
Ducks have
playoff
fallen
spot.
off. Yeah, because the Ducks have fallen off so much. They've won like 2 of their last 14 games.
Yeah,
or
they're
something like
struggling.
that. And yeah, wow, I didn't realize Seattle's been playing better.
Guess Q's not going to win the Jack Adams anymore.
That's definitely our best tier. The Beer Leaguers, Chicago, Vancouver, and Nashville. Chicago should be in a higher echelon there. Vancouver and Nashville.
No, all of them are
where
out
they
of the
should be.
playoffs, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but
Winnipeg is just
Chicago's
killing
injured, though.
Chicago's been coming back recently too.
Chicago's
They've been
won
playing better
4 in a row.
recently, 4 in a row.
Stay tuned. Chicago's coming up in puck luck.
All they need to do is stay afloat until Bedard gets back, and they can just kind of hang around because this wild card race, man, it's
Yeah,
it's
gonna be
wide
fun.
open. San Jose's still in there. Los Angeles hasn't played very well, but they're holding on to a playoff spot. And then
Los
the Mammoth and
Angeles
the
will
Ducks,
get
like,
themselves aligned
For sure.
next to Edmonton
I agree
as
with
the
you.
season progresses.
100%.
However it plays out, you
Right.
know where they're going to be.
Exactly.
All right, let's go into the Panthers Den. Let's start with the Winter Classic. Start with the New Year. They lost 5-1 to New York, the New York Rangers. They beat Colorado. That was almost a perfect game, and they had to play an almost perfect game
2-1
against
filthy,
the best
baby.
team in the league. And then they went out to Canada and got their asses kicked by Toronto and Montreal.
Yeah, losing 10-3 combined in Toronto and Montreal, not ideal. Granted, they played 4 of those periods without Brad Marchand and all of those periods without all of the guys that we talked about before. But this was supposed to be a time where the Panthers were turning things around. Like it looked like as we got around Christmas time that they were really starting to figure it out. They had won 8 of 9 or 7 of 8 or whatever it was. Now they've been alternating wins and losses, but the road trip, they've got to turn it around. Just because if you look at the divisional standings particularly, that's one area that it's starting to spread out a little bit. I know Florida, as of this morning, let's see, Tampa's in the 3rd spot at 55. Florida's got 47. That's a big number. 8 points back is a big number.
Panthers are 2 games into a 6-game road trip. 10 of the next 12, including 2 that they just played on the road. The injuries have definitely hit the Panthers again. Brad Marchand taken out of the Toronto game. That was a coach's decision by Paul Maurice. He's been dealing with a little bit. And did not play against Montreal. Matthew Tkachuk is on the road trip with the Panthers. He just got back to wearing a normal practice jersey. He took off the non-contact jersey and is getting shoved around, so that is a good sign. He's close to the playing.
Yes, hopefully. I mean, this is just me totally speculating. I have not heard anything on this, but hopefully it'd be cool if he plays on Saturday just because he's playing against his brother. It'd be kind of a cool way to market it and get Chucky back on the ice. And it's the last few years, it's been a lot of fun when the Panthers and Senators get together. For whatever reason, they don't seem to like each other. So either way, he's coming back on this trip. It looks like Marchand's day-to-day, so it's nothing insidious and serious with that. So I'm just trying to be positive here because they're still right there within striking distance, and we've seen how good they can get just by adding a little bit of depth. You remember when Verhage and Luosterainen missed a game or 2 last month, they both came back, and it was like a huge shot in the arm. So if they can get a similar effect right now, go a long way towards their momentum towards the playoffs.
I mean, it just goes to show how important Seth Jones is for this team right now because they managed to stay afloat and survive and win that Colorado game with what I thought was actually a great defensive effort despite not having Seth Jones out there. But since then, I mean, just they had a good third period against Toronto, I guess you could say, but Wall kind of stonewalled them and they didn't score anything. Montreal last night, like I was kind of in and out of that game because of the playoff game, but like it was it was not a great effort from the Panthers. I thought like it was very lackadaisical offensively. Just it's hard to generate anything right now because their defensemen aren't getting up the ice as much. The power play is nowhere. And you've got guys that are in roles that they probably shouldn't be in and eating minutes that they probably shouldn't eat. I don't want to say any names here, but, I think you can kind of pick up what I'm putting down. And look, they got to stay afloat because this is a crucial road trip for the Panthers. I mean, 6 games on the road here. You're 2 in already, and you're down 2, and you're falling 3 points out of a playoff spot. Like, if you don't get anything going on this road trip, there's a chance that this could be it for the season.
And not enough rest, even with the Olympic
Correct.
break, because half the team is going to Italy.
Right?
As I mentioned, we had a lot of fun with the Winter Classic, and if you want to watch that video, it will be posted on YouTube. But for right now, guys, give you a quick thoughts on what happened on New Year's, not even New Year's Day, but the 2nd of January.
Well, I think I said ahead going into it that my expectations were kind of low just because it was a Winter Classic in Miami. I had no idea what to expect. I purposely wanted to go in kind of with sunglasses on and let it potentially blow me away, and it really did. I think they did a great job. I thought everybody that went had a good time. I think the only negatives had to do more with the stadium BS than the game or any of that. Which
is not the league's fault.
No,
not the Panthers' fault, not the league's fault at all.
No, it's just they don't know how to put on a big event at Marlins Stadium because they don't really get a lot of people there. Hopefully that will change as the Marlins continue to improve. But, that's another topic for another day. But overall, I think they killed it at the Winter Classic. I thought it was awesome. I think we all had a good time. Ethan seemed to have a blast making his way around, spending way too much money in the team store. And Roy, you even cracked a few smiles.
I hate when you listen.
You're smiling right now?
I smile, okay? All right, now people like to say, "Hey, Roy, you don't smile." Hey, yeah. Finally, Roy was able to smile. Ha ha ha. He. I smile.
I'm not saying you don't, but the ratio of smiles to other expressions on your face is a lot lower than other people.
That's true. That's true. All right, it's time for Puck Luck. It's sponsored by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. I will not do that pause that Chris Cody does every time he does a DraftKings read. So no, that's not happening from this side. Dave, let's win some money.
Let's win some money. So this only 3 games on the slate tonight, so I had to do a little digging, but I feel good about what I've come up with. First off, as Ethan mentioned earlier, Chicago has been playing really well lately. They've won 4 straight, and those 4 straight include wins over Dallas, Vegas, and Washington in Washington, and that's relevant because they're playing the Caps at home tonight, and the Caps have lost 4 of 6 overall and 6 of 7 on the road. So I like Chicago's money line, get some value there. Dylan Gunther on Utah, we talked about them earlier. He's hit his over 2.5 shots prop in 8 straight games before missing last game against Ottawa, so we're getting slightly better odds off the miss. And then Kevin Fiala of the Kings, him as well, over 2.5 shots on goal. He's hit that number in 5 straight. The Kings are a little banged up, and he's seeing a little bit more ice time right now over the past few Kings games. Total odds on your parlay, 477. Go make yourself some money and have a good weekend.
Chris Cody is in the studio, and as we mentioned with the Winter Classic, he was there as well. He was there as a fan. Chris, talk about your experience at the ballpark that day.
I liked it a lot more than this show represented. I thought it was fine. I thought the vibe was really good. I agree. I mean, that ballpark kind of stinks in terms of getting in it, lines.
You missed the first part of what I said. I raved about the event. I just trashed on the kind of the ballpark experience of people trying to move around.
I thought it looked cool. I couldn't hear Role Model from where I was near the unnamed beer bar.
No, they had speakers around the home plate area facing the actual seats. I don't think they had any in the outfield section.
I'm telling you, man, I had to, someone's like, oh, they're performing. I couldn't even hear, didn't know the performance was happening.
That's not cool.
And the bar we were at is the closest actually to that.
We're at the outfield bar.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my brother was sitting in left field seats right next to it, and I went and sat with him, and there were speakers right in front of the seats, so you could hear the skates during the game. It was a really weird audio experience because they had mic'd the ice, so you could hear all the sounds on the ice.
Whistles.
You could hear them already, but then you were also hearing them through a speaker. It was just kind of weird. It's not a great viewing experience.
Were you able to hear any chirps?
Not chirps. No, that would have been cool.
That would have been neat.
It was really more so just kind of the skates and the puck crashing into the stick, whatever. It was a great time. I had a great time.
We never get it again, though, right? We agree.
I mean, no.
One and done.
Think about this. Think about this. Outside of the football window for Stadium Series, do you think Hard Rock will get one?
Yes.
I think because of the timing, right, with football still going on, they might not do that.
It's in February.
They just have to do it on. What are they worried about? The Dolphins in the playoffs?
A non-Super Bowl year.
College football playoffs, bowl games.
Well, that's in
January.
The schedule, but they can make it work.
That's in January.
Tennis.
See,
I think we blew it, guys. I'm speaking positive of it, but nope, I don't think we're getting another one.
I think Lone Depot blew it. I don't think Miami necessarily blew it because it turned out fine. The guys after the game weren't really complaining about the ice or anything. They said the ice held up pretty well by Chris Cody. Love you. But they weren't really complaining about the ice. I thought the surface held up pretty well, all things considered. So, but of course, Hard Rock is outside. Marlins Park is indoor, so it might make it a little more difficult.
You guys kind of set off a little light bulb in my head a minute ago when you were talking about the mics on the ice and maybe could you hear them chirp? You know how, maybe you don't know this, but you know how in NASCAR, you can actually dial into the radio feeds of the drivers and their pit crews and everything. Yeah. So you're hearing whatever they're saying. They could be chirping each other. They could be swearing at each other. They could be talking shit about other drivers. You don't know. So can we get to the technology where we can maybe cut into a feed of a hockey player who's mic'd up and just hear how he's bagging on the guys in the other bench or go, you know what I mean? Wouldn't that be cool to you could tie into Brad Marchand mic'd up for a game?
It would be for Matthew Tkachuk versus Evander.
Yeah, just think about the endless possibilities.
The NHL would never let that happen.
No, not the NHL. the NHL Players Association would never let that happen.
That might be true, too, but I don't think the NHL wants people to know what's said on the ice.
I think this is a great idea. I think this would bring more people into the game. It humanizes the players. It's like, oh, he's pissed about the same thing I'm pissed about.
It's a great idea. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think the NHL would ever let people hear what players say to each other.
There was an outdoor game in Miami a week ago. Like, maybe we're...
That's true. That's true. Maybe they're getting a little more advanced.
It's time for Rosa en un minuto. Rosie, what do you have?
Okay, let's go.
I missed this song.
Hola hijos, este es un minuto de hockey con Rose. Esta vez nos vamos a Seattle, donde se desató el Kraken. Seattle que arrancó la semana aplastando 5-1 a Calgary. Shane Wright marcó el gol de la ventaja, pero el verdadero monstruo fue Philip Gohwansson, que se mandó 41 atajadas. Sí, 41. El hombre estaba en modo pared. Después siguieron con el show en casa. Victoria 7-4 contra Boston. A Kaput Kakuk metieron 2 goles y Berkey Katun anotó sus primeros 2 goles de la NHL. Seattle extendió su racha de 9 juegos seguidos sumando puntos. Nadie los para. Pero la fiesta tenía que terminar. Con Minnesota, los Kraken empataron en el tercer partido. Con Zuccarello los apagó en overtime, derrota 3-2. Aún así, Seattle cierra la semana. 2 victorias, 1 derrota, puntos en 10 partidos consecutivos y jugando como quiso un equipo serio, muy serio. Porque cuando el Kraken se despierta, alguien termina hundido. Esto fue un minuto de hockey con Rose. Tu resumen semanal de puck, pasión y un poquito de chaos. ¡Woohoo!
Yeah,
let me
go
give it to you
Kraken.
in English, people.
Yeah, I hope that was in the English script. Holy shit, that is loud.
What is happening?
I told you it was the English script.
1 minute of hockey with Rose, people. Hey kids, this is 1 minute of hockey with Rose, and this time we're heading to Seattle, where the Kraken has been unleashed.
Kraken.
Yes.
Unleash
The Kraken
the Kraken.
started the weekend by crushing Calgary 5-1. Shane Wright scored go-ahead goal. But then the monster was Philip Gabriel with stopped 41 shots. Yes, 41 shots. The man was in full brick wall mode. So they kept the show going at home. 7-4 win over Boston.
Brick
And
wall
Kapu
mode.
Kaku scoring twice, and Berkey Katun nearing his first 2 goals of the NHL. Woohoo! Nobody's stopping them, but every party has to end. Against Minnesota, the Kraken tied it in the third period, but Zuccarello shut them down in the overtime 3-2 loss. Still, Seattle finishes the weekend with 2 wins, 1 loss, points, and 10 straight games and playing in a serious team. Yes, a very serious team, because when the Kraken wakes up, somebody's getting dragged under. This was 1 minute of hockey with Rose. Your weekly recap of puck,
Cheeky.
passion, and a little bit of chaos.
That's dope.
Cheeky.
And that's why
Fuentes,
she
somebody
is
gets
wearing
dragged under.
sunglasses. It's time for
What a
wins
badass.
and fails. Dave, what's your win?
Oh, man. All right, hold on. My wins and fails have a fighting theme this week, so you might enjoy it. But my win is Maverick Lamoureux, former first-round pick of the former Arizona Coyotes, now the Utah Mammoth, playing for the AHL's Tucson Roadrunners. The massive Lamoureux, 6'7", 214, Roy.
Big boy.
He won a fight against Turner Ottenbright during Tucson's 3-2 win over the Calgary Wranglers last week. And the fight was actually at the end of December, so 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But the video is just showing up, and the video shows Lamoureux, after he got sent off the ice for fighting, trying to get back on the ice to fight someone else. And the referee's like, no,
That's illegal.
no.
So badass.
You're done. No. And he's like, the fans are into it. He's like, come on, let me fight. That's what they paid for. I thought that was awesome. I thought that was so cool. So that's definitely my win of the week.
3 wins for me this week. Hat trick, if you will.
3 wins.
Yeah, funny enough, 2 of those wins were hat tricks, and both were from former Florida Panthers. The first was from Monday as the Capitals played the Ducks. Justin Sordif, who was traded because there was no room on the Florida Panthers roster last season. At least last season. This year, they probably could use them. Got a hat trick as the Caps beat Anaheim 7-4. And then on Tuesday, as the Islanders hosted the Devils, Anthony Duclair messed around and got himself a natty hattie in New York's 9-0 win versus New Jersey. And
Celebrating an Islanders event. That's wow.
Wait until my fill. My third win is even more special. Layla Edwards, who is currently a senior at Wisconsin, she is playing on defense over there, and as a Badger, will now be an Olympian, as she was chosen to be part of the U.S. women's hockey team. She became the first black player to ever be rostered.
That's awesome.
For the Olympics for the United States women's hockey team. So that is awesome. Ethan.
Yeah, I want to go back to the Winter Classic, Roy. That was just an amazing event, and a lot of people deserve props for it. The NHL, first of all, did watching that happen from the inside. That's an unreal event that they put on there. Quite the production that was happening there. And I just wanted to highlight it again because we had such a great time. First of all, I wanted to shout out Fatu for coming down and hanging out with us. She gave you some love, Roy, on the Justin Sordeef hat trick. She was all excited that her Caps were taking good care of a former Panther. So we had so much fun hanging out with her and Sean and everybody that was there. And we just had such a great time, and it was such a great event. I'm so happy we got to go. So
Rosie.
Thanks again.
Okay, I'm not going to give you a win. I'm just going to give you the next week. And the next week is the Lightning. But my win was Stranger Things. I'll talk to you about it after.
Yeah, okay. Fails of the week. Dave.
Massive brawl last week between Ryan Reeves of the Sharks and Columbus's Matthew Olivier. Not the first time they've squared up, but this might be the most memorable because Olivier knocked Reeves the bleep out. Didn't quite get him out cold, but certainly put him on his ass on the ice. Reeves is a fighter. He knows how it works. He's cool with it. After the game, he was talking about the fight and the neurological tests he had to play. So if you guys have that, can we play it?
They just played it.
No, there it is right there.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I had to memorize some words. Cotton, honey, arrow, I think was there. The months of the year backwards. To do some number games, some balance stuff, pass with flying colors.
Well, there you go. All right, my fail for the week, and you sure saw this coming. My fail goes to the Devils because on January 6th, the Islanders played the Devils on Long Island. On January 6th, the Devils lost 9-0 to the Islanders. On January 6th, Tony DeAngelo scored the Islanders' 7th goal. And on January 6th, you allow a goal to Tony DeAngelo, you deserve to get what you get. And on January 6th, Tony DeAngelo scored. The Devils deserved that 9-0 beatdown. Ethan.
You called it, too. You texted me I should have taken DeAngelo on January 6th.
On January 6th.
Fitting that he scored on January 6th. Did you guys see what happened in the Chicago-St. Louis game the other night with Jordan Binnington? Jordan Binnington gives up 7 goals. This is Team Canada's starting goalie. And he refuses to come out of the game. And then the Blues can't find their backup, Joel Hofer. He's just kind of hiding. I'm not sure if he's hiding. He didn't know what to do exactly. But it gave us this unbelievable screenshot of Hofer just kind of waiting in the wings, hiding in the locker room. It was really a hilarious moment. I don't know how Jim Montgomery always finds himself in these situations where he just loses control of his team completely. He is once again the most fired coach in the history of sports.
All right, coming up next, if you're watching Fuck, excuse me.
I love that channel.
Yeah, Fuck channel.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you're watching on DraftKings Network, coming on next, we have David Pagnotta, the fourth period. We're going to talk about the league. He has some inside news for us. You can watch that on YouTube. So for everybody who's listening on audio, David Pagnotta is coming up next.
All right, kicking things off with Smirnoff, the official vodka sponsor of the NFL and the number one vodka in the world. Chris Cody, you're here.
Smirnoff!
Wow, you're on the money with Smirnoff.
Smirnoff!
Chris, you know what goes great with Smirnoff?
Smirnoff!
Yes, but I'm really talking about game day fit. The style's got to match the vibe.
Smirnoff!
All right, here's the deal. Game day is everything, and that's exactly why your fit has to match the occasion.
Smirnoff!
Starting this December, Smirnoff is giving fans 21 and over the chance to score limited edition Smirnoff commission merchandise from some of today's top creators, including Kayla Jones, Gavin Matthew, and Aleli May.
Smirnoff!
Here's the kicker. One lucky fan will take home the grand prize, a trip to the biggest game of the offseason. Plus, one fan will win Aleli May's one-of-one game day jacket.
Wow.
The merch will be dropped on select dates from December to January 21, and it's all courtesy of what brand?
Smirnoff!
That's right, Chris. Fans 21 and over can head to Smirnoff Socials to learn how to sign up. And don't forget to grab a bottle of Smirnoff vodka, number 21 at your local retailer.
Smirnoff!
Please drink responsibly.
Smirnoff!
Number 21 vodka distilled from grain, 40% alcohol by volume. The Smirnoff Company, New York, New York. Please do not share with anybody under legal drinking age.
Smirnoff!
No purchase necessary. Must be legal U.S. resident, 21 or older. Sweepstakes starts 12/15/2025 at 12 a.m. Eastern and ends 1/23/2026 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. See official rules at program website.
Hello, listeners. You know that I live in Miami, which means my idea of quote-unquote winter is just putting on a hoodie or a cardigan and acting like I've suffered. But every time that I travel somewhere that's actually cold, I'm reminded that my wardrobe is completely and utterly unprepared. But that right there is where Quince comes in. I also realized that if I'm going to be on camera for broadcast gigs, I probably shouldn't look like I just grabbed whatever was closest to the door. Quince makes clothes that deliver premium materials, thoughtful design, and pieces that hold up season after season after season after season. And particularly with Quince, their outerwear has been the thing that's especially impressed me. Those down jackets, wool coats, Italian leather, and folks, that cashmere sweater, ridiculously soft, looks great, and somehow doesn't cost what you'd expect. Trust me, I am the only one on this show who actually dresses to impress, and Quince is what's now helping me do it. Refresh your winter wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/Dan for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/Dan. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Dan.
Sometimes all it takes is a simple, yeah, I'll swing by on a football Sunday for a regular moment to turn legendary. That's when you say yes to the unexpected hang and you bring a pack of Miller Lite. Because those small decisions, that's Miller time. Some of my most legendary moments started that way. A buddy's house, a game on, a tailgate. No big plan. You just crack open a Miller Lite and see where the day takes you. After you take that sip, you look around, you see your friends, sometimes your family, and you think, yeah, this was the right call. You're locked into the game, the conversation, the moment, not thinking about what you're drinking. Miller Lite just fits. Clean finish, refreshing, brewed for taste with simple ingredients. And at 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces, it never weighs you down. It's the taste beer lovers have trusted for over 50 years. The original light beer since 1975 and still iconic today. Legendary moments start with Miller Lite. Great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
David Pagnotta is from the fourth period. He's he's not our insider, but hey, he's our insider.
He kind of is our insider.
He's our insider. So, yes, he's our friend, and we love him, and he joins us with some league news. And we are getting closer and closer to the trade deadline. And we will start with the defending, reigning, two-time Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. Is Bill Zito going to do anything?
Well, he's looking around, boys. He's looking around. He's trying to see what he can do. Talking to a few teams in the last week, they're starting to at least relay that, yeah, the Florida Panthers are starting to kind of comb the market a little bit, see what options might be available to them, depth-wise more so than anything. He's looking at strengthening the D-core and just deepening that, but there's also maybe it's the bottom six, maybe it's the fourth line, just to give him some more options as the season moves on. We know Matthew Tkachuk's coming back soon. Let's see how the roster looks once he's back in it, how he does. They're probably going to ease him into it and then kind of go from there. But yeah, Bill Zito, GM of the Florida Panthers, looking around, just trying to see what options are available to him. Probably closer to the trade deadline, not the holiday. Excuse me, not the holiday. The Olympic freeze, where there's a roster freeze from February 5th to the 22nd. Outside, and some teams are viewing that as like the mini trade deadline. I think we'll see some activity, but it won't be like a regular trade deadline, which will happen on March 6th. And it looks like that's kind of the timeline where Florida's kind of seeing, well, look, unless something happens now and falls into their lap, that's probably closer to the actual trade deadline where they look to make a move.
Who is the most expendable person on the Panthers roster right now?
I don't even know if they're looking or have a desire to move anyone out per se. When Tkachuk comes back, they're going to be sitting at around 17,000, 18,000 in cap space. So they're allowed to do that because they're working within LTIR parameters. They still have flexibility to send guys down. Some of the guys that are waiver exempt, you add that all up, it's about 2-3 million in additional space. So there is wiggle room. We know Barkov's not coming back till playoffs, so they're not, they're not really concerned about that money right now. So I don't even get the sense that they're looking to move anyone out. Really, it's more so just insulating the roster and cushioning some areas of the roster as much as they can until playoff time. Now, with Barkov, the initial prognosis and timeline was in and around conference final time, the end of May. That could be escalated up to beginning of May, potentially, if they get to the second round. We'll see. I mean, they got options. There's no sense of urgency. It's just looking to see what options may be available to them. And again, I just don't get the sense that they need to move anybody out in order to make something happen.
Speaking of flexibility, I know that another team in the Eastern Conference is looking for some flexibility as we get closer to the Olympics and the trade deadline, and that's Carolina. You reported a couple weeks ago that Jesperi Kotkaniemi, they were looking to shop him. They were trying to unload him off of their books. That may be heating up lately. Can you tell us anything more about that, Dave, and just about Carolina's plans?
Yeah, so the Hurricanes offered up Kotkaniemi right before the holiday break for Phil Deneau in LA, and the Kings said no. They didn't want to add on the additional term. He's got 4 more years on his contract after this season at $4.82 million per year. It wasn't necessarily the money; it's just the term, and he's kind of fluttered this season. I don't think LA viewed him as an option at the dot for them. He's been kind of rotating. He plays center, but he's also been rotating on the wing. But he's been available. The Hurricanes are never afraid to take a big swing, not lately. And that's something that they're looking to do. They've got some cap space, but moving Kotkaniemi out frees up a lot more, and it gives them a bit more roster flexibility too. So that's a player that we put up our trade watch list earlier this week. He's on it. They've actively made him available. But again, I think it's more of a preference to upgrade the roster in another area by moving him out and utilizing his position on the team roster-wise and the cap space itself. So we'll see kind of where that goes. There's been more smoke today on Kotkaniemi. We'll see kind of if that evolves today and into the weekend. But he's definitely a piece that the Hurricanes have been dangling.
Pags, as we're sitting here talking, I just saw a tweet of the neutral zone at the Milan Olympics ice, and it is tiny. This is like 2 strides for Connor McDavid from blue line to blue line. How did this happen? Isn't it? How mad is the NHL about this happening? And it seems like I was reading an article yesterday from Emily Kaplan. It's going to happen. The arena's going to get done. How did this happen? And again, how mad is the NHL about this situation?
Well, with the ice size itself, they were supposed to have an NHL size rink. Like it's 3 feet shorter. It's IIHF size. So it's international size, but it was supposed to be NHL size. So that's why everybody is kind of like up in arms going, well, for this Olympics in 2030, we agreed for NHL size. It's not the end of the world, really. And everyone's they seem to be okay with it now because they really don't have another choice. But it was supposed to be NHL size, not IIHF size. So that's kind of where things kind of got disconnected. With the building itself, look, I'm Italian. Italians have a tendency of moving at their own pace. So I'm not overly shocked that this building is not done yet. The ice seems to be in place. Now it's just figuring out everything else. Like the locker rooms aren't done. The concourse isn't done. It looks like the seats are all in. Huh. The roof's finally finished, so that's a plus. But they still have, what is it, like 3 weeks to go. So all hands on deck for these guys. Put the espresso down and just finish it up, boys. Come on. So you got this.
What's the concession situation going to be once this place is open? Like, are we getting like fresh pasta? Like how exactly? Because now you got me thinking about food. Yeah, right. Are we going to get some nice fresh cannolis out of the oven? Like, how hard do they go with the concessions out there, Dave?
Well, I've never been to a hockey game in Italy, so I'm not.
But soccer,
I'm not sure how
has any Italians.
I've done soccer. Yeah, I've done. I went to Milan in August for the NHL Player Tour, and at that point they were supposed to. Some of the Canadian and Americans were supposed to have. They didn't even go from the executive team. They were supposed to do a tour of the facilities then, and there's no chance. It wasn't even remotely close. But I've been to a few soccer games out there, and I'm sure they're going to bring in some. Like there's going to be pizza. There's going to be. I guess sausages equivalent, like not really hot dogs, but they got a lot of different sandwiches, a lot of different types of sandwiches. I didn't see any pasta when I was there at some of the soccer games, but that could be something.
That's disappointing.
I'm sure there's. I would impose an espresso bar.
Well, you think about like baseball games in Japan where they're like shoveling lo mein into their mouths.
Right.
Like, so I'm thinking like, why can't we do that with pasta?
You can. I don't know. It's more the sandwiches. Italy does more of the pizza and the sandwiches that come in for their sporting events at the concessions. But like, I don't even know if there's popcorn, to be honest. There might be something, but I never saw it. I just saw these little sandwiches. And little, they're actually massive.
They're the opposite.
We're having a big discussion here, assuming that the concession stands in the arena will even be done.
Yeah. It's the most important thing.
Have you seen the walkways?
It's
they
not.
don't think the fan experience is going to be done. It's insane.
They're going to have to makeshift it because, like, if you're going to a game, you're going to want snacks and all that stuff. Like, maybe they just simplify it, but like, so I saw a picture of one of the locker rooms yesterday. And it's just a room. Like they have like the walls done, but nothing's in there yet.
Nice.
And I think some of the electrical still has to be worked out and finished up. Like, all hands on deck. These guys can finish off like those types of rooms in like a week. It's not. And I think that's kind of their mindset. Going, when you open the 5th, we got time.
7 years they had to construct this arena. 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane.
Jeez.
It's insane.
First.
Look, I don't get it, but
I know you don't get it. It's just
what they
crazy
got.
to me. It's crazy to me. That
Still excited for the Olympics.
This happens every Olympics seemingly, though. But I can't wait. All that's good. Once they're on the ice, nobody's going to give a shit.
Right.
Assuming the ice holds out.
It should. I think they're using the same type of technology that the NHL is using to make sure that the ice is good to go. And we'll know pretty quickly because I think the first game is on the 5th. I think the women's game, they play on February 5th or 6th, something like that. So,
early.
I hope it works out.
First, Rose dances with pizza boxes, and before the segment starts, and then we end up talking about pasta and massive sandwiches and pizza. Let's just move off of food because I'm very hungry. The Ottawa Senators announced that Linus Ullmark would be away from the team on personal leave. And apparently somebody had gone on their social media and, as I guess the team called him a troll, and delivered some misinformation about what has been going on with Linus. And the Senators released a statement with fury against this so-called troll. What do you know? What's going on in Ottawa? What can you divulge?
Well, Ullmark's gone for he's taken a personal leave. And that's really all the Senators are saying. Now, there have been some rumblings that, there may have been altercations with a teammate or something along those lines. And that's part of the reason why he's away. There's been some talk that they've been exploring the trade market on him. So it certainly sounds like something just doesn't jive with Ullmark and the team. I saw the stuff that was posted on social media and on X and whatnot about it. And I just figured it was fans doing what they do. Like, guys like to troll and chirp and do all this kind of stuff. I didn't think it warranted a statement from the team. It's just some random anonymous fan that's just causing shit and stirring everything up. Excuse me. Look, I don't know why they decided that they needed to acknowledge that. But it does add a little bit of fuel to the fact that something's going on within the organization with Ullmark's relationship there and with the team. And it just amplifies some of the rumors and speculation out there that he might be on the move. Now, I've asked around. Some people around the league have heard that his name out there. Some haven't. So this still might be a little bit fresh, but it certainly sounds like the relationship between player and team in some capacity has been hindered a little bit and isn't in the best of spirits. Let's put it that way.
If he does go on the trade block, do you think there's any potential teams that he'd be a good fit for?
I think there'd be a lot, but the issue is his $8.25 million cap hit. That's where that's going to be the biggest problem, at least in season. Like, maybe this is something that they view as an option in the off season, but right now, in terms of pulling it off, which teams want to make an upgrade in goal and which teams have the cap space to do it. Like, if Edmonton, for example, wanted to get in on this, they probably have to package Jari, who they just got from Pittsburgh, with another piece to make the money work. Carolina, Kachekov's done for the season. Do they want to roll with Anderson and Bussy, or do they want to just go for the upgrade with Ullmark? Maybe that's a potential fit. But outside of that, it's hard to see where the options might be. in season. I think there'd be a lot of options out in the off season, excuse me. Just in season, because of the dollars tied to it, it might be pretty difficult.
The Eastern Conference is all bunched up, so I'm going to give you 3 teams right now that you can talk about. You can talk about Toronto, and because they were in the bottom of the league and have somehow worked their way up now to within striking distance of a playoff spot. You can talk about Buffalo, who has won 12 of the last 13, given that they fired the general manager, Kevin Adams, in the midst of that winning streak. They were on a 3-game winning streak at the time. And you can talk about how close Lindy Ruff was how close he was to losing his job. And you can talk about the New York Rangers, who have been so terrible at home. And is it because of Mike Sullivan's play style and they haven't gotten used to it yet, like the Panthers did with Paul Maurice when he first got there? And is there any word on Igor Shesterkin's injury?
All right. Well, Toronto, they on an upswing. They've gotten things rolling now. What is it? 6-0-2 in their last 8. So things are going better for them certainly after the win last night. They play Vancouver on Saturday at home before they go on the road for a week. Things have looked better in terms of their overall performance. Austin Matthews, people are saying, yeah, he's back. He's back to the player he was, and we've been waiting for that since last season. He hasn't really, exploited his talents in the best way because of some injuries that were nagging and bothering him. It seems like that's now a thing of the past, and if you're a Leaf fan, you're hoping for that. But they're also a little bit banged up. Like Chris Tanev's season is probably over. He's going to need surgery. And if he does, he's done for the regular season anyway. He's not coming back till, I think, the timeline's end of April, maybe beginning of May. So they're going to look to see if they can move or make an addition on that back end. Initially, they wanted to bring in a puck mover to help get that up the ice. But because of Tanev being out, I think they want to just see, can Carlo hold that role, that defensive physical presence in that back end, and we can still bring in a puck mover, or do we have to replace now what Tanev has brought to the table? I think Brad Treliving, their GM, is looking at every angle. But now that they're rolling again and kind of got their heads out of the you-know-what, they're going to look to add and try to cement themselves in a playoff position. Buffalo. I think Ruff was right there. I think they were contemplating making that change behind the bench and then said, you know what, we'll keep it going, see how this goes. It's not Jarmo Kekalainen's guy. Maybe if they, can build up a few more wins together, then, gives them enough runway for the rest of the season. Well, he's got a hell of a lot of runway now, given 12 wins in their last 13. Things are looking good there. The priority right now for Buffalo is Alex Tuch. Can we get him signed? That's where that's their mindset. So they're trying to see if they can get him signed, or at the very least know that they can get him signed this month. They're going to hold on to him. If not, if they feel like he's not going to sign here or he's out of our price range, whatever deal he signs, it's going to make him the highest paid forward on the team, $9-10 million plus. It won't be the highest player. That's Rasmus Dahlin at $11 million, but he'll be in that 9-10 range, somewhere in the 10s is what I think, especially if he hits open market. And if that is the case, and the Sabres don't feel they can sign him, then closer to the trade deadline, they will probably try to trade him within that 2-week window from end of Olympics to the trade deadline itself, unless they find out now, for example, that he's not going to sign. But I don't think they're going back and forth right now on that subject. And then Rangers. I don't even know if they know exactly what direction they want to go in. The owner, James Dolan, came out last week and said, preach patience. He's willing to be patient with this group. He may wake up tomorrow and say, to hell with that. Go make this team better now. There's no the Shesterkin injury. Thankfully, he's only day-to-day or whatever it is on IR. I think it's not as serious. It's obviously he's got to miss some time, but it's not as like this isn't a long-term thing. At least that's what they're relaying to everybody. Similar to Tuch in Buffalo, Panarin in New York, they got to figure that out too. So they're trying to see if realistically they can sign him. If not, and he likes it in New York, he'd like to stay, but he wants more term than I think the Rangers are willing to give him, at least at the dollar figure that they're looking at, which will be similar to the 11 he's making now. Because he's going to be the biggest fish in the open market in July if he hits it. So If the Rangers feel they can sign him, they'll do it. If they don't, then they'll probably make him available for trade. But this is another team like Carolina, always kind of lurking right now. And if they could make a big splash and take a big swing, I think that's what Chris Drury would like to do. And it would revolve around a player in his 20s that's controllable for the foreseeable future.
And then shifting to the West, Dave, I've got 4 teams for you. 2 are in playoff spots right now. 2 are not. Seattle and San Jose are currently playoff teams. Chicago, who's won 4 in a row, and Winnipeg, I don't know what the hell, are out of the playoffs. Is that how it's going to stay? Do you see some switcheroo? Mainly, Dave, Seattle and San Jose, playoff teams right now. Is that how it's going to stay?
I don't know. I don't think I don't think there's enough in the tank for Seattle. Personally, if they prove me wrong, awesome, good for them. But I think there are other teams that are going to, surpass them. I think San Jose has the potential, but San Jose's in a buy and sell mode. They've got pieces they're willing to sell off, but they're also trying to insulate that roster and give them a good shot at making the playoffs, which is, evident in them, re-signing Alex Wenberg, getting him to a 3-year extension, and then the trade yesterday to bring in Laurent Brossoit to stabilize their goaltending position a little bit and provide a backup there. So there are other guys like Mario Ferreira, Timothy Liljegren, John Klingberg. They got 2 other guys on expiring deals as well on that back end. I think they're going to move out 1 or 2 of them, but they're also looking to add as well and bring in somebody that fits like a top 6 role. Excuse me, a top 6, holy smokes, top 6 forward line. Still not saying it right, but a top 6 forward is something that they'd like to bring in, but also controllable, fits the mold. They can grow with the younger guys like Celebrini and Smith and Eklund and everyone. So they're an interesting group for me, but I think there's enough there because of just how great Celebrini is and has been this year, where there's an argument for them to make the playoffs. They probably won't do much, but to just gain that experience would be something. I think the Ducks are going to rebound a little bit, get back into it, get their game going. They're on a hell of a slump now, but I think they've got enough to rebound and get back into it, get out of this little funk they're in. I think LA's got enough to be a playoff team. Edmonton's obviously rolling. The Knights are rolling. But I don't know about Seattle's the kind of the bubble one more so than anything for me in that group, because I don't think Chicago's going to have enough to get going. And nobody knows what the hell's going on with Winnipeg.
Oh, man.
They can't score. Outside, they got the first line, and then the rest, nobody else can do anything. So we'll see. It'll be very LA-like for the Kings to lose to the Jets tonight and snap that streak, and then everyone in LA will panic and go, what the hell? How do we lose to a team that's lost 11 straight? But eventually Winnipeg's going to win again. It would just be a little bit hilarious if it ends up being against LA, because the Kings fan base will lose their minds.
All right, that's what's going on around the league. David Pagnotta from the Fourth Period. Thank you for sharing what you know.
Thank you, boys. See ya.